That's a really good question. I would say that to me, you have to have a long, dark night of actually ascertaining what's happening, recognizing that you're being run by very bad people. We kind of already, there's always been kind of like the gist of like, politicians are bad, but we kind of just let them be because, it is what it is. But I think that people need to have a long, dark night and actually ascertain, look, you have a cabal, you have pedophiles, you have people who use aggression against other nations, you have people who are gaslighting you to your face about murders in front of you. Minnesota comes to mind, obviously. And I think you have to take that moment and go, what are we doing here? And how does this help my community? And again, I can only speak to Californians. I can't speak to the rest of the nation. But again, and by the way, again, like I'm not, native to California. I came out here when I was 12. I realized there's already kind of a special place, something unique happening. And I did have a long, dark night. I did have a moment of like, what is this? Why are we doing this? And this is before actually the last 6 months. I mean, this is back in, 2017 when Trump was first elected, and a lot of people were looking around going, how the hell did this happen? And I had again, like I said in high school, like I was already thinking about California should just be its own thing, but it was more of a positive reaction. It was more like, it would be fun and interesting if California just took off and went its own direction. But later, when he was elected and he was already proven to be a con man, pimp, terrible person, there's every kind of, pejorative I could use, the country decided to validate his election. And I had a long, dark night going, this is wrong. This is extremely wrong. And I think that anyone who wants to step up and go for office, they should just really take a moment of meditation and go, this is awful. This is wrong. How can we do something better? And at least in the California experience, I think that the California community, everyone here knows what we have, wants to defend it. And I think that you need to step up and go, you know what? I thought about it for a long time. This is crap. We need to have a new system. And in an odd way, even though like the California National Party, I wouldn't say is radical in ideology. Actually, we talk about things that have been talked about for, 30, 40 years, also almost kind of a conservative reaction. We want to have a one person be able to take over the salary of the home. We want to have someone at home to take care of the children, etc. All that being said, we're not radical in our ideas, except for the one point, which is that California needs to leave. California needs to take off. California needs to separate it from these goblin creatures that are running so much, and their pathetic supporters who are gaslighting and lying and believing the lie, which is even worse, about American life. Again, we need to get away from these people. We need to have our own separate situation. And again, God bless them. Again, like, no hard feelings kind of thing. We should just be our own thing. And this lets us take care of our own problems, which we have a lot. Because again, if California is the size of Canada, California is, plus or minus, Germany when it comes to the economy. This is a huge nation state, and we should be able to take care of our own problems without outside interference. We shouldn't have anyone coming in telling us what to do, especially if we're bankrolling the entire nation to the point of the last fiscal year was $276 billion that we're giving out to MAGA and the red states and the federal government. Yeah, we should be able to use that money to take care of our own issues and, say la vie with everyone else.